is that fucking I just went into my mum's house. I had a car at the time. I was on my red peas. Just got a little bag, couple clothes, stole all my mum's meds at the time. And she's not an addict. She's all prescribed. Like, she's a law-abiding citizen. She's one of the best figures I've ever had in my life, and to this day I'm lucky to have her. So I've robbed her, took all my shit, got in a car and just drove to Adelaide in some sort of psychotic break because I couldn't handle it anymore. Left my partner at the time, said I'll be back in a weekend. Didn't come back. Left and met a girl there, stayed living with her for a bit, and she was bad on the opiates, like heavy opiates, Serapax, Valiums as well. And this is around a time where all drugs were getting dealt and bought through Discord, which is, a lot of people out there would probably know it as a gaming website. Like, a lot of gamers talk on there when they're fucking doing Call of Duty or whatever. Not really my scene, but the drugs were. And so yeah, we're just buying drugs, using drugs. And I'd had a few legal run-ins with the police, but nothing too serious until Adelaide was probably the biggest one. Where this is how I realised, alright, there's a fucking problem. Is we've woken up one day. I couldn't tell you, maybe a week passed, maybe 2 months passed. We've been eating Xannies, Valium, and the Oxys. You don't know what the fuck's what. You're just living. It's like one day, consistently. And I've decided, well, fuck, we're out of drugs. I need cigarettes. You know, so in broad daylight, I've got in the car. And if anyone's going to comment anything shitty here, I got done for this, so I can speak on it. I've got in the car with my friend and the girl. And just out of respect for them, I won't name them. But we've driven to a free choice in Salisbury in Adelaide. Elizabeth, I mean, next to Salisbury. So they're suburbs in South Australia. In broad daylight, I've jumped out of the car with her, and I got my mate to be the getaway driver. And because we're that fucked on the drugs and shit, broad daylight, my number plates haven't, you know, fucking done anything to disguise anything. Didn't even mask up properly. I've just ran in there, asked for a bunch of shit, and then jumped the counter when he turned his back and cleared out heaps of the ciggies, all this shit. We've ran back to the car and he's chased us. And I remember sitting there thinking, like, and I'm not a violent person by any means. And I fucking hate violence. And I've run to the car, and I've got in the car, the girl's got in the car, I'm tapping my friend, I'm like, oi, come on, we got to drive. He's on the fucking nod, because he's been on the pills too. Right, and obviously they've hit, you can go through stages when you're using them that much that you seem sober, and you can act sober and be sweet for a while. But it'll come in a wave where then you're slumping it. And so I've jumped in the car with him, I've tapped him. And in the time it's taken for him to actually connect into what the fuck's going on, is this worker has ripped the back door of the car open where the girl's sitting, and he's jumped in it, and he grabbed her by the leg, and he's bit a chunk out of her fucking calf. And then I had a jumper in the back seat, that's right, an Everlast camo jumper, and he grabbed that and flung it over where, like, so I'm in the passo, so he's jumped through, so he's flung it over my throat. And in like a survival instinct from the abuse as a child with my dad and that, is I'm not going to sit there and let someone kill me. I know I did the wrong thing, but so I've responded by throwing a few, and I've fractured his cheekbone. At the time, I didn't know this, but it's all in the police statements. And then we've dragged him out of the car because my friend got out and ripped him out. Was a big Samoan, big built boy, and fucking dragged him out of the car, left him on the floor, and we've just left. You know, we didn't bash him. It's just I hit him to get him off me. We've removed him from the car, and we've left. But there was something like so crazy. On the police paperwork, there was 17 witnesses that ID'd the number plate and a version of events as to what happened, and it all corroborated. So I think it was about an hour later, because I've been pulled over earlier that morning, just as a random breath test, passed it, and they knew where I was living because I'd given them the address because they pulled me over. My license said New South Wales, and obviously so that same day, within like an hour, about 8 cars pull up, all the cops come running, and I'm seeing them run all around the house. So I'm like, fuck, so I've run to the kitchen to hide, thinking like, what am I going to do, And so we're there, I'm unwrapping all the cigarettes we stole, and I'm like, just get rid of the packets, because they're going to have a register that'll tell you, just get rid of the packets, keep the cigarettes. So as we're doing that, they start banging on the door, all the doors, they're all in the backyard. And I didn't know this, but you can get a warrant just like that in South Australia. They had it on a phone. I thought like, fuck you, what are you gonna do? Get a warrant. I was a very cocky kid. It was all just deflection really at the time, but and then so that's happened, and fucking we've all been arrested, taken in, and God knows how. I honestly thought I was going to jail for that, but I got bail. We all got bail, and then I got bailed to the girl's house, and that become a very toxic relationship within the next month. She started kind of losing it a bit. We all started losing it a bit, to be honest. I don't think I was ever sane when I was there, because it's not in my nature to be doing robberies and stuff. It was just that time in my life, I was just drug fucked, and later on it would happen again. We'll get into that later on. But yeah, she ended up attacking me. Tried to, this bit's fucked up. I laugh a lot as a way to cope with it, but she actually waited for me to get out of the shower and tried to stab me in the nuts with a fucking screwdriver. Because my friend who was 17 with me, we went to the a strip club for his 18th, because he'd turned 18 there. And so I was like, this is cool, you know what I mean? Like, dude, because he wanted to go. He was like really excited. So I was like, alright, boys will be boys, just, you know, just having fun. And fucking, so that shit's happened, which is fucking crazy. And like, she goes to stab me in the nuts. I've had to hit it out of her hand, and then fucking had to run and pull on some shorts, and I ran out the front of the house, and ran out with my mate. He's come out with me, and we've jumped in the car I had at the time and floored it. But then she's called the police, and she said that we've breached bail, we need to be arrested because we're bailed to her house. And then she texted me telling me she'd done that, and I'm like, fuck, looks like we're on the run. And then the police found me down the street. This is what I mean, when you're on drugs, you're an idiot. I looking back, I would have drove home. I would have come straight back to Sydney. Good luck catching me. But no, what do? She lives next to a pub. I drive to the pub, get shit hammered, pop a couple oxys, and I get caught at the pub by the police. And so I break my hand, because I know that, and this isn't to glorify crime, anyone watching, don't ever get involved in this shit. But I broke my hand against the wall and said to them, you can't arrest me, I need hospital attention. And thank fuck they let me go. And my friend had none of his meds, I had none of my meds, because this girl's kept them all, like legal ones, not fun ones. And they've let us go to hospital, and thank fuck that's how we avoided jail. Is we went to hospital and we got a share house, and fucking that was pretty cool. Not really cool, everyone there was on drugs, but we got a share house, got bailed there, that sorted that problem. And like this, I could tell you a million stories of what went on in that share house, but some things are best left unsaid, you know, maybe at a later date, or else we'll be here all night. But so that's just kind of how that happened. And then I've come back from Adelaide. Alright, I stayed there for a few more months, but I've come back from Adelaide. Now I've got a habit, now I'm an addict.